Mobile Tech RX, the app that helps you make more money.
Don't forget to grab your Magnatech mat, available at most PDR tool distributors.
Welcome to another episode of PDR Tool Time. Today's episode is 246. Man, I'm John Renstrom, sitting alongside Daniel Grom, Vince D'Alessandro. Hudson Tansey actually made it all the way into the closet. No, he's got the bedroom now. They moved to a different house. Out of the closet, Hudson is. So, all right, how was everybody's week? Oh, well, Vince is already pouring it back. He's not even, he's barely even cracking the lip of the glass with that thing, man. Why don't you just put a straw in the bottle, homie?
It's not cold enough. I need ice on it.
You can get those little ice tubes just to throw it directly into your whiskey bottle.
No, you need the ball. You need to be a ball.
The whiskey ball.
Oh,
those are a project, man. I've really had to work hard to try to make a perfect one of those. You got to boil the water like 3 times.
No. You don't. Not anymore.
Distilled water.
I have a contraption, John.
Yeah, the fridge.
Well, yeah, I do have the bougie fridge now, but sorry, I'm like burping everywhere. I have a contraption. Actually, I'm going to post it. It's a dual layered silicone container
that's what I have
in your freezer. And basically what it has is you have the top layer where you pour the water in and it goes all the way through into the bottom layer and you fill it all the way to the top. And what happens is all the minerals in your water goes through the holes down into the bottom. And then 24 hours later, you pull it out and all the water on top is crystal clear. And the water on bottom that froze is all cloudy. And you have crystal clear ice cubes for your whiskey.
And yet we still can't figure out who the president of the United States is.
We can make clear whiskey.
Whiskey balls.
Yeah.
Whiskey balls. Yeah. So, all right, we got kind of a wicked little show here tonight. We're going to discuss some really nasty repairs. So, Daniel, have you done any?
Yeah, we're going to get into big dents. We're going to talk some big dents. We got a special guest on, and he posted a very impressive repair. And I'll be honest, when I saw it, I was like, why? Is the first thing I said. Because I take on some big stuff, but, I have to look at a job and say, okay, I think it's going to take me so many hours a day for a big job. It goes on to 2 days, and then I'm like, I don't know if I want to work on a job for 2 days.
Hudson, do you take on jobs of that size?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you pay me.
Right. And that's the key though. But that's where the numbers, that's when you get into that big of a repair, then the numbers start not making so much sense. So that's why I wanted to bring this guy on and talk about this and break it down for you guys. I want to know exactly what the whole process was. I want to know what tools he was using and how much he got paid for doing the job, all that. So our special guest is now Spencer. How do you say your last name? I'm going to say it wrong.
It's Rhoten.
Rhoten. Spencer Rhoten. Welcome to PDR Tool Time.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah. And you're from where?
Actually, Lafayette, Louisiana.
Louisiana. So you got the gumbo down there.
The gumbo, the alligator, the sauce piquant. You name it, we got it pretty much.
Yeah.
Oysters.
Good eating.
Oysters. The big thing, is boudin and crawfish.
Oh, yeah. Very good. So you posted a repair on, was it a Chevy truck? Was that right?
Yeah, it was a long wheelbase. It was a GM. I don't remember if it was a GMC.
Yeah, it was a GM, but I want to say around a 215 or 16.
No, it was actually 19 or 20. I'd have to look back now, but it's a newer model.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the problem with those newer models is they expanded the inside of the bed,
Right.
which means that because I used to be able to take out the tail light and stick my carbon fiber rod down that whole bed.
Right.
And use that big thing.
Yep.
And now you can't.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it even harder doing that repair. And this thing was, so tell us the story behind how they got the dent.
All right. Well, of course, us in South Louisiana, we've dealt with hurricanes a lot this year. Pretty much the whole coast of South Louisiana has taken the brunt of a hurricane of some kind, wind damage, wind force being hurricane force. And so we've got a lot of damage around here. And this guy particularly, he was down here doing assessments on homes and things of that nature from hurricane damage. There's an insurance guy, and he was moving his camper for some reason or another. My wife just sent me the deal. It was a 2019 GMC Sierra 3500 is what it was.
Single wheel.
Yep, single wheel, but it was long wheelbase.
Got
So
it.
he was pulling his camera. I don't know if he was pulling out of the spot or something, but anyway, he was hooked up and he was moving. And he turned a corner, and when he turned the corner, his lock wasn't latched down on his kingpin on his camper. And it just slid out. And it slid out when he was actually in a turn, not when he was going straight. So the weight of the camper fell across one side of the bed. The whole weight.
And for our guests out there that are listening to us, it crushed this thing. I mean, it fell down on the side of the bed and crushed it. I mean, it was kinked in multiple places.
Yeah, it was.
I was curious why you only had the one box side. Every time I get these fifth wheel hits, it goes across both box sides, but that explains a lot going around the corner. The only time we ever get one side is when they jackknife it into the cab corner or something.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. But anyway, he had, after it fell, like I said, he was in motion. He was driving when it happened, and it slid. You can just imagine the weight of it sliding down that one whole bedside. And then with him moving, the actual kingpin catching the tailgate.
Oh,
okay. So when it caught the tailgate, the latches for the tailgate, the pins for the tailgate where the tailgate closes, it actually pulled the tailgate out. It bent them pins out enough that you could. It was a 1-inch gap between the tailgate and the bed where it closes.
so the tailgate did not survive, I guess.
No, the tailgate, it ripped a hole in the tailgate, ripped the top off the tailgate, basically.
yeah, I'm seeing that now on this. I've got your photos up of your repair. It's in the Kiko Dent Repair group. And that I never noticed it. You get so fixated on that box side and the crushed top of that bedside that you completely miss the fact that the tailgate is ripped open like a can.
Yeah, it's horrible,
awesome.
man.
So this guy comes to you and he goes, "Hey, can you fix this?" And
Well, what happened was he had went to one of my body shops that are service, because that's in the little town where his RV park was at.
okay,
And the body shop called me and he said, "I don't think you can do anything with it." He said, "But this guy wants you to come take a look at it." I said, "Okay." Well, I went over there, and when I looked at it, I was like, "Man, there's just no way. I mean, there's nothing that I can do. I mean, literally, it's just that bad."
Yeah.
That was my first thought.
yeah, that's my first thought. Yeah,
And I got to talking to the guy, and being as he was dispatched down here, he didn't want to ride around with it, as ugly as it is, but he didn't want to be out of its truck for 2 weeks, because it actually, it bent it so bad. I didn't show the pictures of it, but it bent it so bad. The pan on the inside wall of the bed, it actually buckled that pan.
Yeah.
okay.
When it twisted it. So I asked the guy, I said, listen, I said, if you can drop it off with me and leave it with me for about a week, I said, I'll do what I can to help you out. I said, I can't guarantee you what's going to happen. I said, but I can make some improvement. How much improvement? I don't know till I get going on it.
Okay. But you told him up front you needed it for a full week. So you're talking 5 days of repair. So you really gave yourself some time on this thing too.
Yeah, I did because, I mean, I had other stuff scheduled to go along with it. And you know as well as I do and anybody else, the longer you sit on one, the more the boredom factor sets in.
You got that right.
So you have to break off of it and break up the monotony a little bit and do something different and come back to it. Just basically just to give your eyes a break.
See, that's wise wisdom right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny how you can. Yeah, I right. You're absolutely right. Just you can get so transfixed on something where you start focusing on something and you're not noticing the important things around you, the important like damage or certain crowns that are hiding because you become so fixated on this one point. Yep. And if you just walk away for a little while, come back. But
when you come back, you're going, that doesn't look like the thing I just left.
Yeah. What, Vince?
That's one of the things that when I smoked cigarettes, that was one of the good things because I would just go have a cigarette and take a break. Take a break. Like, man, I always get twisted after being on something for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours straight, looking at dots and high spots.
Yeah. So I had to shrink. Sorry there, Hudson, but I shrank a dent and it took me 4 hours solid on a single dent to shrink this thing on a hood. And my eyes literally felt like I was in the first day of training all over again. I was like, I couldn't believe I did that. So yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, we're talking the damage on this box side just through your photos runs the entire length. So roughly 6 feet of this 8 foot bed has been
pretty much the damage. Actually, there was a little bit of damage from I don't know what you call it, the center square post that goes in the middle of the bed above the tire. The damage run basically from right there all the way to the tail light area.
Now, when you brought it in there, or he brought it in, how often did you work on it? A couple hours a day for 5 days, or did you tackle it like just chalk off 2 days of your life and just dive into it, or what did you do in the end?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I actually I had Jeremy Reynolds help me with it a little bit. He tagged with me on it some, so it helped me out a lot. But I mean, all in all, from the time we started on it to the time we got off of it, I think we probably had about somewhere between 15 to 17 hours in it total.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
See, Daniel, when you're over here, when I see this kind of damage, I kind of get like a little schoolboy. I get excited because to me, it's like a puzzle. You know, I don't know if you guys are into like Sudoku or anything like that, you know, or just solving things. When I see damage like that and there's no paint damage, or at least no extremely visible paint damage, I'm like, holy crap, the paint's not damaged. Okay. And they want to pay me. Yeah. Let's go. Like, let's go. This is going to be fun. Like, I can't, I get excited.
So this is what I want to know. You bring up the perfect question is what's your first move on this thing? Because my thought is to raise the top edge of the bed, and I'm thinking hydraulics. I'm thinking hydraulically lift that edge up to try to get that stretch out. What'd you do?
Well, hold on, Daniel, before we go forward with that answer, just because let me paint a mental picture here for us. I'm looking at the photo right now. The top, where the bed cap is, the bed cap where the brunt of the damage, would you say it's probably like down 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches, Spencer?
I don't think it was down that much, man. I mean, you know, just as well as I do, pictures can give you a bad reading. It was actually down probably, I would say 2.5 inches, if not more, maybe 3 at the most.
Okay,
But,
it's still bonkers.
It done an accordion style dent on it.
Yeah,
right
I mean, you could eat your Wheaties out of that. All right, that's how deep it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
down here in Louisiana, we'd tell you we can eat a bowl of gumbo out of it.
Yeah. I was going to say you can boil crawfish in that one.
Okay, so Spencer, what was your first line of attack on that, man?
Well, probably my main tool that I used on it was, I would say, my K-bar from Keko.
Yeah.
But to my first point of attack, my first plan of attack was I knew that I was going to have to move metal 2 different directions at the same time. So because it was damaged so bad, like I said, the back side of the panel on the inside of the bed, the pan itself was buckled on the inside. So I actually had to take my porta power, and I took my porta power and put it on the back side of the on the inside of the bed, and I put pressure on the back side of the bed. And I got my K-bar and I got some some of the centipede tabs, some of the flex tabs that'll the big wide one. I don't know. I think it's a 2-inch tab, the centipede tab, and so it'd have enough coverage of glue surface to pull it up so it'd hold it, get a good bond. And I put it right in the deepest portion of the dent as far as I could go with it. And on the cape, you got different widths of the slide that goes over the top of the tab. You got the real long ones, and then you got some shorter ones, and they're not as wide. So I had to put a shorter one on it because it had such a deep V in it that it wouldn't get all the way down to the middle of it as I'm sliding it across that centipede tab. And,
so you put them big tabs on there, but what glue were you using?
I started out with Dent Out Red.
Okay.
I started out with Dent Out Red, but I wound up going to the Keko collision glue.
Yeah.
From Cam Auto.
Yeah.
I finally went to it because after I got the majority of it up, then that's when I actually started really putting pressure on the side of the vehicle. And it's kind of hard for me to explain, but whenever you're using that K-bar on the very edge of a panel and you're trying to pull straight up, that way you can relieve some pressure and knock crown down at the same time, getting the feet to line up just right so you can get a pull straight up is virtually impossible.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my tech tip for that is whenever you're doing that, take you a 2x4. It don't have to be a big 2x4, but take you a 2x4 and a pair of C-clamps, a vice grips or something, get on the back side and clamp it down to the top of the bed. That way your feet is flat. You can move it out as far as you want to, and you're pulling straight up then. You're not trying to pull at an angle.
Right.
And, man, you can really, if you're pulling straight up, that K-bar can really, really, really move some metal, a lot of metal.
You know what? And that's how I approach all my big dents, is starting with glue, pulling as much of the damage in the direction you want. That's good. It's good.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's not like you could use a hustle stick on that, Daniel, because I mean, you're on the top of the bed. Your first pull's going on the top, and the K-bar or K-beam. I thought you might have used a K-beam. I don't own a K-bar.
I did. Did I say K-bar? I meant K-beam. That's
K-beam.
what I used. Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
yeah.
I have used the hustle stick on those. You
really?
put the foot further up on the bed, and I used it to finish out squaring the holes because you could pick up straight up and finish squaring out those holes a little bit. Now on something like this, quite honestly, I'd have probably had my engine hoist in there, the cherry picker.
Yeah.
And I'd have been picking up with it with the cherry picker. And
I was thinking I'd be putting a jack inside the bed, because You're also aren't you dealing with the inside of the bed too? That's smashed down too, and you're pushing that.
So it has porta power in there.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't. Yeah, I had my porta power on the inside of the bed, and I was pushing. Yeah, I had a. I don't know if all porta powers come with it or not, but the one that I bought did. It had a big rubber tip.
Yeah,
that went on it.
Yep.
And that's what I used on the backside.
Okay,
give me a lot of surface area to push up.
Now, did you do any glue pulling on the inside of the box? You were talking about the buckle on that inner panel. Did you do any glue pulling, kind of straighten out that intersection as well?
Actually, when I pushed up with the porta power, it took most of the buckle out.
Huh.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in that first move, that really kind of reveals how everything else is going to turn out. You're going to
That's correct.
Sense of, hey, this is possible, or this is a no way situation. Am I right?
Right. Yeah. And that's what I told the guy when he dropped it off. I told him, I said, listen, I'll know within the first hour how much I'm going to be able to do.
Right.
And that's with anything, any big dent that you get on, you're after your first initial metal movement, you're going to know.
you're going to know if you're off to the races or not.
You're going to know how much time you're going to have in it.
So looking at the picture right directly above the tire pretty much is where the apex of the dent through that upper bedroll, where the side of the bed rolls over the 90 degrees to become the top of that box. That area is crushed down all the way down to the pinstripe tape. That's about 1.5 inches lower than that. Did you have to keep that hot to keep the paint?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I did. I heated it up. It was a lot of heat, man. And believe it or not, it was a lot of prayer. It was a lot of prayer. I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it without him on my side. I promise you that. There's a testimony behind it. I could tell you.
And one thing you said that I liked, Spencer, is you knew within an hour or two whether or not you had a chance at it. And
right.
I think one of my greatest learning moments all the time is taking on big stuff that I didn't think was going to work, or I wasn't able to fix it. And
right.
And that's what I would tell the customer. Hey, let me have a shot at it. I'll know within an hour if it's worth my time and worth your time. And, it 9 times out of 10, I amazed myself and I amazed the customer on top of it and got paid. So,
yeah,
you're always surprised sometimes. It's like you never know.
You never know.
Well, that's what I tell everybody. I mean, it's even some of the guys that are working for me. I tell them that it don't matter. You could take a car, same year, model, make, color, everything, vehicle, and pull it up beside a pendulum in the same exact spot with a bowling ball, pull the bowling ball back the same distance, let it go and hit the door, and you're going to have two different dents.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just the integrity of the metal, the thickness of the metal. A lot of factors go into that in knowing how much time you're going to have.
So now let's talk about, you start off with glue pulling, you're pulling the meat of the dent out, what I call the meat out. And, were you able to work through the tail light, or are you all working through the top of the bed? Or
no, I could not get in through the tail light at all. There was no possible way.
So you're working through the top of the bed, through the slots.
Through the slots, never drilled a hole.
Right.
Through which the was slots good thing. At the top. Oh, holy cow. It was bad enough when I was looking at the pictures. Then I'm thinking about all the tools that I got to run through those little slots at the top of that bedside.
Man, I think I went through every tool in my box before I got finished with it.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. So what tools were you using? So let's break that down a little bit.
The main tools that I used was the 3-foot Dentcraft double bend. I believe it's a 5/8 or 9/16.
Okay.
And I used the Dentcraft double bend also with the interchangeable tips.
Yeah, that's RDI like 36 or something like that. 30.
Yeah.
Look at Vince go. He just rattles off those numbers.
Yeah, rattle it off, man. All I know is I just go back to my previous order and order it.
Right.
Right.
So
you're working soft tips. What soft tips are you using?
Actually, I'm just using them cherries. The little it's like, what is that, number 5 or something like that?
R4. The R4 with the cherry cap.
Yeah, the R4 with the cherry cap. That's basically all I use, man.
How many cherry caps did you go through?
Hey, we sell them in bags of 100.
Yeah, man. Once I got it up and I was able to get the heat off of it, I went through a lot less. I can tell you that.
Yeah. The reason why I asked is I was doing a nasty shot on a body line of a 2021 Yukon Denali today, and man, I had that panel hot, and I just went right through that cherry cap quick.
Hudson, don't you? Do you have a fix for that? Don't you? Didn't you come up with something? And he's
sorry.
Yeah,
I had my mic muted, so I wasn't breathing heavy into it.
No problem.
For
the cherry tips, the R4 cherry tip, I thought you had a fix for that.
No, I've started using leather, the VIP leather blending tips.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah. The
ones we push with
the edgy knocker, the teeny weeny knocker.
Never mind. Moving on. You used to sand them down. You told us to make them flat. You sand it so it's not a round pushing tip.
That's what I was going to say.
That doesn't prevent it from pushing through the.
Well, it saves it a little bit.
No, I had the solution. You use ultra soft tips, the vinyl tips, and you wrap that with Tessa tape. You'd never blow through them.
Yeah, well,
they're stiffer.
But now, Spencer, you said you actually take your R4 and flatten it.
Yeah, the metal, the end of it.
Yeah,
I'll put it on my bench grinder and flatten it. I actually take it down about half of what it normally is.
Yeah.
Vince had no clue you were going to say bench grinder.
Okay, so
all right,
Spencer,
got it in there.
Spencer, what did you quote this guy? Can we ask you that?
Well,
first off, Spencer,
I honestly, I didn't quote him anything.
Hey, Spencer, do you know if the body shop quoted him something? Like replacement?
The body shop quoted him to replace the bed.
Exactly. Okay. So you're talking thousands of dollars.
Yeah, like $4,000.
Right. Okay. Now carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. But no, I didn't ever give the guy a quote. And the reason I didn't is because I just wanted to see how much was going to come out before I actually give him a price. And I told him, I said, I can tell you it's going to be upwards over $1,000. I said, but that's all I can tell you. And he said, okay, that's fine. He said, I just need it fixed. And even though it was not 100% perfect, it was to the point to where that a body shop could take it and work it, and they wouldn't have to replace the whole bed or even the bed panel now. And that's what he was wanting.
So was he happy with
100% happy?
And is he going to leave it?
Is he going to leave what? Oh, yeah. He said he's not even going to take it to the body shop now.
Okay. So that's what you want. That's the kind of response you want from your customer.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't think anybody here is in the, under the illusion that you take on something like that. It's not going to be
glass.
100%. There's just no way.
Yeah. I mean, it's just there's too much going on in it to make it glass.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't have a lot of time to look through the responses on the post, and I haven't been back to it since you first initially posted it. And that's primarily a body shop forum for Kiko. What was the response for some of the body technicians, within the thread of the post? Were they surprised? Were they like, oh, that's not good enough? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the majority of the people were just surprised and, told me it was basically just a great repair, for what it was. There was a couple people that had a couple of negative things to say, but I just let them know what it was,
Yeah.
what it was about. So, I mean, I'm not in a competition with anybody. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday.
Yeah, get paid.
Yep.
Feed the family.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because I think with the onset of a lot of body shops realizing the capabilities of paintless dent removal, it's not just door dinging anymore. And you got Kiko selling products to body shops and body technicians and kits and stuff like that. It's for real, and we know it because we're PDR technicians. But for the technicians that are listening to us that are thinking about getting into PDR or body guys, you're thinking about getting into PDR. This is just scratching the surface of what we're capable of doing with PDR.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. Of course, I know most of you know Mr. Robert Castillo.
Yep.
He's actually he come down and worked with me for about a couple of weeks, and he had to go finish up a few hell cars and tend to some personal things. But he's actually coming back down in the first week of December, and we're going to do quite a few things together. We're going to do some Cam Auto stuff together, and just do some showcase on some bad dents.
Yeah,
to show people exactly how bad a repairs that PDR can actually do.
All right. Now, $64 million question. How long did you hurt like hell after you got done with that thing?
Well, I'm still paying for it. No, actually, man, it wasn't that bad because really and truly, I mean, my body's used to it now. Because that's pretty much all we do is work on big stuff like that. I mean, there's not every day we take on something that extreme. Don't get me wrong, but we do. I mean, it's collision type dents every day in my shop.
Now, if that was an older model that you could go through the tail light, would you use a carbon fiber rod on something like that?
I would. Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah,
I probably would.
That thing would have probably come out. It would have been easier, and you probably could have even got it even better if you were able to do that.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, man. Because the ability for me to get leverage from the top through the holes was limited.
Yeah,
and so with a carbon fiber rod sticking out the back end of it, I mean, you could probably put your tip through it if you wanted to.
Yeah, and plus you got your perspective better. You can really sight that thing down, and you can really move a lot of metal and see that perspective that you need. To be able to.
The majority of the metal that I moved, I actually moved with glue. I didn't use a tool that much. I was joking a while ago when I said I used probably every tool in my box. Believe it or not, the majority of that I moved was with glue. I would hold pressure on it, and as I'm holding pressure on it with my K-beam, I would get down on the lower side of it, and I would just move my light all around it. I would continue to hit it with heat and just basically just crown work, man. Yeah. What hurts the most is my elbow from hammer work on the outside.
Now, that's a question I have for you, Spencer, is you're a 20-year tech, so were you trained with knockdowns or with blending hammers?
I was trained with a master from Dent Wizard.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, a little bit of both.
So he was slapping.
What blending hammers were you using for this repair then?
Yeah.
Actually, I've got a homemade one that is my favorite. That is my go-to. That I had a very special friend of mine, Shane Meyer, sent it to me, and then I've got I still got one of my favorite ones. Believe it or not, is one of Jeremy Langston's Dent Technologies.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite ones that I use. most of the time.
Now, do you still have your master? Were you slapping on it with your hammer on the backside?
No. Whenever Dent Wizard cut me loose, they wanted it back.
No,
so
I got two. One's for a museum and one's for me.
well, I still got a Ford tool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones. I think that's why my forearms look like Popeye right now.
Yeah, I got a couple too. Yeah.
That's good, man. I love breaking the dent down and talking to dent techs and what their approach is and find out, how they did it. You actually, I'm a little surprised you did a lot of it with glue, and it's awesome.
Yeah, because really, John, that's high strength steel back there, isn't that?
I don't think the boxes are.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. The fenders.
This new Chevrolet metal is just it's cheesy.
It's weird.
It's soft. It's really soft. It's to me. It's almost soft. It's almost like Volvo metal used to be.
Yeah, or like Subaru metal now.
Yeah, Subaru. There you go. Yeah,
I did a GMC Acadia this week, and I was like, I saw it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna get this out. Like the body line was completely reversed and gone. Like you couldn't even see where the body line was anymore. And I was like, how am I gonna do this? And then I just put my tool in, and I made as soon as I put my tool in, I made a snail trail immediately. I'm like, oh, so that's gonna be how it's gonna go. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. They fight you because they only want that little bit of metal that moves is only where the tip is.
Yep.
And you really got to getting a broad tip and having to go inside that through just the top cap there, man. Talk about limiting the size of the tool that you could use.
Well, I gotta give a lot of credit to a guy by the name of Eddie Berry. I don't know if y'all know him or not.
No,
Eddie's a great technician out of Jackson, Mississippi. He's got a local brick and mortar shop over there, and he's a fabulous big dent technician. And I got to be able to spend about 4 to 6 months under him about 5 years ago, man, and it really help my skills as far as being able to master and being able to get some of these bigger damages done. And I look at every one of them as a challenge because, like I said earlier, none of them are the same. Right. You'll never get the same dent twice. It's like a snowflake. You'll never see the same one twice. So every one of them that we get on is a challenge. Yeah, some of them are easy, but most of them are challenges to a degree.
In the end, you had a happy customer and you had a successful repair. And like any of us, we take on big stuff like that because we want to see what's possible. It stretches our own skills.
That's right.
And you find out, hey, I learned something here that I can use somewhere else.
I love doing big smashes.
Yeah. I do too.
I just don't get them very often.
You can come see me. I get one every day, just about.
Now I'm thinking I'm going to have to.
Well, Spencer, we really appreciate you coming on and breaking this dent down for us all and sharing your experiences. And we thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
thank
Spencer.
you. And we'll see you next time.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks, Spencer.
Okay.
Take care, Spencer. And let me correct my statement. That is in the Kiko Collision Repair and PDR group is the name of the group.
Okay. And we're gonna post a link to that actual thread where Spencer posted that, so you guys could go on there, and if you're a member of that group, you could take a look at it and see the wonderful work that he did on that bedside. I gotta say, I probably would have passed on it myself at this point.
Yeah, I would have. I would have said, yeah.
But he did a wonderful job.
Well, thanks so much again, Spencer.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Yep. Take care. The body shops would have done it for $1,500 here.
Ugh.
That's what sucks. That's why I don't get to do the big collision stuff as much as I would like. Is I refuse to compete with the collision shops. on their pricing.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, same. I'm in the same boat. And with COVID, man, some of these shops around here locally are just giving work away. I mean, dude, it's just, I have a local shop that I know I send people to all the time. And like a customer will go in, and if there's no paint damage, this body shop will be like, hey, like we can fix this for you, but it's probably better if you go with Hudson Dentgents, contact him first and see what he says. And then, customer will get a quote from them, and then they'll come to me. And typically I'm cheaper, or like right around the same price. But yeah, typically I'm cheaper. But lately they're like giving away the farm. They'll be like, oh, wow, you're $200 more expensive than them. I'm like, what? And because they're cutting corners on a lot of things right now, just trying to get any work in that they can.
Yeah, you can't blame them. They're trying to keep their doors open too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying no. No, I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. Like
all the big body shops around here have laid off people like crazy.
Really? Our shops here are slammed. And then the one directly across the street from us, half their crew and the owner is out with COVID. So they're not getting anything done at all whatsoever right now. So, and they're booked well into next year, all of them. But, like the hail job I was talking about today. I mean, when it's white in the bright sun outside and you can count the dents, that's bad hail. So
yes,
that backs them up for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well.
So do we have any other news in the PDR world?
Yes. Oh, we have the Toys for Tots are coming up. But there's quite a few different stores or shops, PDR shops that are holding events. I know of two. Gene Fetty's having one up in his neck of the woods, up in Pennsylvania, right?
Yep.
And ours down at Anson will be the final one at this location. So, go out and support it. Do one yourself. If you're a lot of people are not traveling and, maybe Dentex wants to get together in the Midwest somewhere or they can't travel to Texas or Pennsylvania or West Coast. I think Daniel should do one for the, West Coast.
Come on down. I'm coming to Texas. What are you talking about?
That's right. Never mind.
You can still do it on another weekend.
Come on down to Texas and see, Cowboy Vinny.
Yeah, come on down.
Hey, so when you say Toys for Tots at Anson, I know other people that come in, they do like a door ding for like in exchange for a toy. Like is for Anson, are you just showing up with a toy?
You show up and drop off a toy, and you're entered into mega giveaways, man. You know how Anson, they're givers.
Mega.
And let me tell you, we were just putting together the backpacks. Not
backpack.
Not a backpack. And if you guys ever go to any event that Anson sponsors, whether it's a mega media event or mastermind groups and stuff, they are very generous with their backpacks and their gifts. So
yes, they are.
Yes. Oh, and speaking of Anson, all month long, watch out for those Cowboy Vinny videos because we're putting together really sick deals on some of the tools, and they're not like, hey, these tools are crappy, we're just trying to get rid of them. They are good tools that we are blowing away or blown out.
Very good. Very nice.
Now you guys are still on track to be out the door pretty soon. You're cleaning all the corners.
No.
How soon?
We're still looking at hopefully the end of January, February. The transition will happen sometime we're hoping for about MTE time, either before or after or during. But really, we can't even move one single glue tab in there until we get a certificate of occupancy. So, we're just trying to do some logistics.
How close is it? I mean, where are they at in the construction process, I guess?
When I was there 2 weeks ago, they were putting up the framing on the inside.
Okay.
So the inside is easy stuff. To frame out office space is not a big deal. And it's all aluminum framing. It's not like wood framing.
Yeah, but there's plumbing and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, but I think that's all. The plumbing is only in you're talking about. Yeah, the electrical will be a big deal. But really,
air, heating, all that,
HVAC, that's all stuff that will be fairly simple. We were told that the interior will go by like in a month.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
less.
I can believe that.
Yeah. So it's not like a house. You know, all the plumbing is in one area. There's, male, female toilets in the kitchen. So.
Wow, this is 2020. You have male and female toilets.
I know. I was like, it's just like,
wow,
man, woman, alien, whatever.
One
just
toilet.
wash your hands.
Gender neutral.
It's Burleson, Texas. They're a little bit still country down here.
True story. My mother-in-law is very much against that kind of thing. Understand why?
Yes.
So she refuses to shop at Target. Absolutely refuses.
Target.
Because they did the bathroom thing where they had a gender-neutral bathroom. Anyways, we have a Target right around the corner from us. So out of convenience, we got her a gift for Mother's Day, and it was from Target. But we always leave a gift receipt, because just in case they didn't like it, they can take it back. She pulls this thing out, man. I was like, oh, I love it. Thank you so much. She loves this gift we got. And then she sees at the bottom of the bag, the Target receipt, and she goes, oh, I'm sorry, I can't accept this. Yeah. And then Robin was like, my wife was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just take it back. And she takes it. And then all of a sudden she snatches it out of my wife's hand and she goes, no, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Yeah. And I was like,
you go, Granny.
I'm like, yeah, that 16-year-old girl behind the counter totally can control the corporate policy there.
Yeah.
You're really going to show them I was like, come on.
Oh man.
That's
Vince is rolling his eyes. Why are you rolling your eyes, Vince?
No, because it's funny. I mean, it's funny. I'm rolling. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I understand why they feel that way, but it's like, is yelling at a 16-year-old girl behind the counter really gonna fix it?
It's gonna make her feel better about it, though. So.
But honestly, I'm just like, no, I don't take anything out on an employee at a freaking store. They're just employees. They don't make a corporate policy.
That's right.
Bro.
Okay, well, that's our PSA for this evening. We are going to wrap it up on that point.
Be kind. Christmas shopping season's coming up. No chewing ass to anybody behind the counter. Yeah. Be nice.
Yeah.
Rub their little heads. Well, with COVID, you can't even rub their little heads and tell them have a happy.
Hey, John, are you coming down for Anson?
I don't. Probably not. I don't think I'm going to make it.
I don't get to see you and kiss on you and everything.
We'll see him in January.
Yeah.
January's going to be interesting, guys. Have y'all thought about this with MTE?
What about?
Yeah.
If Biden truly becomes president, right? Because he's not president-elect right now, like people are saying. He is the projected winner. Big difference.
Mm-hmm.
He's the projected winner. But if he does become president, he has said that his first day in office, he's doing nationwide lockdown.
No.
And when does MTE?
You can't believe everything Biden says now.
I'm just saying, it's something to think about.
Did you hear
that? Say what you have to say to get elected.
Did you hear that out of his mouth? Because I mean, what I heard was that he was going to try to mandate all the governors for all of us to wear masks. That's
going to ask nicely, right?
Well, during the campaigning, he did say he was going to do a complete lockdown, and now he's just mandatory mask.
Yeah.
And big fines and withholding.
Oh, Susie, if he wins, then COVID goes away.
No, that's not happening. Come on.
Nope. It's never going away.
It's not going away.
Now they're seeing this vaccine. They have this vaccine that's coming out that's supposedly has a 90% success rate, but I'm not going to trust any
kind of
vaccine.
Third round.
Okay, let's wrap this up and we'll talk about it after. Daniel, what do you got to say?
Yeah, this is good.
Hey, these guys want to hear it. People listening, they want to hear this crap.
It's in third round testing. Hopefully,
they don't want our opinion. They don't care about our opinion. Just like we don't care about celebrities' opinions. We don't want their opinion.
We care about celebrities' opinions. They just want celebrities to have your opinion.
No. Yeah, whatever.
No, I don't.
That's my favorite thing.
It's the end of our show. It just blew up. Guys, level up your tools.
Don't do stupid stuff like what we just did.
Embrace the crazy.
Keep it dead.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the industry and tool-related news every week.
Visit AnsonPDR.com for the largest selection of just about all your PDR tools, where you'll find hog glue and hog tabs,